Hi there, this is Dave Scott, and I would like to invite you to listen Monday through Friday right here on Spaced Out Radio. 3 hours a night of the top stories with the top guests, ranging topics from UFOs to ETs, ghosts to Sasquatch, and everything in between. We are live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. So come on in and take a listen at spacedoutradio.com. Spaced Out Radio will take you out of this world.
Let's go 6316, 8.8 for 6,000.
Yeah, 6316, North Approach, gonna maintain 3,000, number 1 for the right.
3,000, Scout 6316.
Redwood 811, gonna maintain 4,000. Airport open to box 1.
We take you higher and higher and higher. You feel it over and over again. We take you higher and higher and higher. You feel it over and over again.
6 Nova, careful, runway heading, runway 5. Let's take off.
Check.
And we're ready for takeoff. Sit back, relax. It's time to travel with Cosmic Passport. Spaced Out Weekend presents Elzabeth Anglin's Cosmic Passport. A 1-hour warm-up of news, stories, thoughts, and ideas to captivate your mind. You can follow us at spacedoutradio.com.
Now 20 years have passed us by, and we look back and count the time. Burning like the summer sun, when the world was young. As I lay staring from the ground, and 7 trumpets wait to sound.
And now, here's Our Lady of Flight, Cosmic Passport with Elzabeth Anglin.
Good evening and welcome to Spaced Out Radio Weekend. You are on live with your host before the host. This is Elzabeth Anglin of Cosmic Passport coming on before James Tyson and the 2 mediums tonight, Joanna and Paisley. And we can't wait. We're going to have a great show. And it's always a blast when Joanna and Paisley and James are on. You can call in tonight with your questions for both Joanna and Paisley, and that'll be starting at the top of the hour in 1 hour. So stay tuned for that. Before that happens, we'll be chatting a little bit about 9/11 and some of the spiritual things that happened. I'm going to take you down memory lane, my memory lane, because yes, I was a spirit medium on 9/10, which is when I had some events happen that were concerning and confusing, and I didn't know what was going on. And 9/11, and after that, getting into how the changes of 9/11 changed us as Americans, as Canadians, as North Americans, and people all over the world. How do we view each other now? Do we view each other with trust and love, or dislike and suspicion? I don't know. Those Canadians, you guys really helped out, and James is going to tell us a little bit about that too. He's been out on a ride today. You are listening to us. Before we get started, though, just to let you know who we are. We are Spaced Out Radio. You can find us on spacedoutradio.com if you haven't already. You can find us on Revolution Radio. We have a chat room at spacedoutradio.com. Join in the chat. It's lively. It's fun. And we also have a chat room at Revolution Radio on freedomslips.com. If you are interested in all the programming we have at spacedoutradio.com, which is 7 days a week, 3 hours a night, yes, every single day of the week, we bring you the best in ufological, paranormal, cryptozoological, oh my goodness, so many ogicals, I can't even describe them all, conspiratorial and more, then consider becoming a spaced out radio space traveler. When you do that, you get entered monthly into a drawing for swag. We have books from our authors that come on during the month. We have other good stuff. We have a newsletter, not a moose-letter, that would be written by cows, and I'm not a cow, newsletter coming up shortly this month in September. And it will feature articles by Patrick Small, Eric Squared, myself, and some news from others. And all of these good things, as well as being able to listen to all of the archives of spacedoutradio.com, are available when you become a Spaced Out Radio Space Traveler for $5 a month. It's a bargain. It's a bargain. If you're in the United States and you're Joey Aquilino, Joey Giggles, this is what I have to say. It's a bargain. And Joey, you know who you are. And if you don't know who Joey is, check him out. Joey Giggles, Joey Aquilino. Okay, moving on. Oh, if you're listening on Revolution Radio, they have a great platform. I should sound really clear and wonderful and like I'm in the room with you, just gently talking into your ear. Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. Great platform, great station, Studio A, Studio B. They are completely 100% listener supported. If you are enjoying listening to Revolution Radio programming, please go there and give them a donation. That's how they operate, by donations. They are like the public radio of the conspiratorial, ufological, paranormal universe. So go and check them out. Give them your attention, or let them know that you like listening to their platform at Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com. Moving on, yes, it is 9/11, 15th anniversary of 9/11. I was alive in 9/11, 2001. I'm not going to tell you how old I was, but I'll tell you what I was doing. So we've had some, as many of you know, I am a psychic, a spirit medium, and an animal communicator. And for a lot of years, from 1994 until 2006, I ascribed to this idea that, it would be wrong for me to charge very much for my services. So I was always working 2 other jobs and being a psychic, a Reiki master, a spirit medium, a medical intuitive at the same time. It was hard. Sometimes I was doing sessions while I was traveling from one job to another. And that's where we find me on the evening of September 10th, is I am traveling home from my job, which at the time I was taking a little break from working at MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and teaching therapeutic writing lessons and managing a therapeutic writing program, a very large one in Andover, Massachusetts. And on the way home, I had pulled over to do a medical intuition session in a parking lot, because that's what you do when you don't get paid for your services. You have to work the other job, and so while you're commuting, you have to do readings in parking lots. Think about that, people, for a second, when you're dissing the hardworking intuitives out there. And as soon as I got done with this medical intuition session, all of a sudden, a friend of mine who had passed in 1997 came into my mental space and just started yelling. My friend's name was Dave Duclos. He was an alien abductee. He did work with Dr. John Mack, and he died suspiciously in a drowning in 1997. And he was a big guy, and he had a tendency to talk too fast and to stumble over his words when he was alive. So you can imagine a very excited, very large man, about 50, 6'4", 225 pounds, showing up in spirit and going, "Fire in the sky, fire in the sky, 2 fires in the sky, fire in the sky," over and over and over again. Of course, I have no idea what he's talking about. I can see 2 fires in the sky, and he's saying, the twins are on fire, like the roof is on fire. Very bad pun. And I'm sitting in this parking lot going, okay, I have to get home because I have to eat. Because that's another thing that happens when you don't pay your spirit mediums, is that as they're going home and doing sessions, they don't do things like eat dinner, which is not good. So I'm driving home and he's yelling at me the whole way, the whole half an hour it takes me to get home from that parking lot. And I'm thinking, well, he was an astronomer. Maybe there's some astronomy. Maybe there are two stars that are colliding, or maybe there are twin stars that are going to supernova, because he couldn't give me any background of what was happening, what he knew was happening. He was just really, really trying to express it, but without that perspective, without knowing what a target is. When spirit comes through to try to warn people about something, if you don't have the perspective, if it could be anything in the universe, what ends up happening is you end up looking for something happening with anything in the universe, and that's exactly what I did. I went out looking for twin stars or twin flames in the sky, something that an astronomer would be interested in. I didn't even think, and then I got world at one point, and then I was thinking about twin worlds. And I thought, well, maybe, there's going to be a collision in our solar system that's unexpected, where a planet is struck by an asteroid or a large meteor. Not this planet, but a planet. Well, maybe it's us. Maybe we'll be struck by a large meteor. Because, again, Dave Too Close was an astronomer, and I kept thinking, what would he get excited about? Duh! Another thing that happens when you don't allow your intuitives to work as intuitives, because they're not supposed to get paid, they get over hungry. They have a hard time sitting down and listening to the messages that come through, because A, they haven't eaten, and B, they're tired from a full day of work doing something else. So anyway, that's where I was on 9/10. I was listening to my friend Dave for a good hour and a half, yelling at me about the twin fires in the sky and trying to figure out what the heck he was talking about. And I got online, I Googled all sorts of stuff, and finally I got tired, and around 10:30 I went to bed. When I woke up in the morning, I was in New Hampshire, southern New Hampshire, Plainfield, beautiful town, beautiful day, sky blue, perfect weather, just like it was in New York, very calm, very blissful, idyllic day. And I thought when I woke up, I'm going to sit and journal for a little bit. So there I was as the first plane was hitting the first twin tower with my journal, looking out my upstairs window at the beautiful blue day, going, wow, what a fantastic, beautiful day, and just writing down my meditative thoughts. After about 20 minutes of this, the phone starts ringing and ringing and ringing. So I get up, I go downstairs, I pick it up, and it's my roommate. And she doesn't say anything but turn on the TV. That's it. Just turn on the TV. She didn't say which channel. She didn't need to. She just said, turn it on. So that's what I did. I turned on the TV, and just as I turned it on, the second plane was hitting the second tower. So I was in shock just looking at the smoke from the first tower, and it was literally within a couple minutes of me having turned on the TV, the second one hit. So that was it. That was the end of the blissful, idyllic day, and that was the understanding of what my friend Dave Duclos was trying to tell me from Spirit. Twin fires in the sky. And there was nothing, even if I had received the message, even if I had gotten it and understood it clearly, I never would have known until it happened that what he was giving me a message about. I wouldn't have known if I was right. So, we think about all of those TV shows where the spirit medium is showing up and saying, you have to stop this from happening. This is going to go wrong. Well, in the universe of everything that could possibly happen, it's very hard for one spirit medium to say, oh yes, you have to stop this, in the absence of being able to discern in a short period of time what the information they're receiving is about. And especially not when they're tired from working all day and not having eaten dinner. So, there are some things that are expected of spirit mediums, and people ask the question oftentimes, why didn't anyone predict 9/11? And I've talked to some other spirit mediums who were given messages, and it was really hard for them to understand what the message was about. They saw the twin flames, they saw the fires, they saw something being struck by something else, but they didn't really know what it was about. And that's simply because without a target, without having some parameters of what you're looking at, it's hard to understand what you're getting. You're getting something, but you don't know where, when, what, why, how. So it was sad. I could only watch for a little bit, and then I turned the TV off and I went back outside and I noticed there were no planes. And I went outside to the horses. I was living on a horse farm, and I hung out with my cat and the horses for a bit. And then my roommate finally got home. They had been held at work for a little bit. They let everybody go after watching what was going on, and she came home and watched some more on TV. And I thought about it, and then I went to work. And we had a normal day of work. We had, I taught writing lessons. And it was still a beautiful day. And the kids were completely oblivious of what had just happened. We gave our writing lessons. It was a beautiful, glorious day. The kids were happy. And I'm talking little kids, because in therapeutic writing we're doing very young, developmental delayed kids. They were oblivious. They were having a wonderful day. And it was good because the writing lessons brought the parents and myself into the moment. Instead of being out of our heads about who did what, when, where, over there in New York or Chicago or Philadelphia or Washington, we simply walked with kids and horses and quietly watched what was going on around us. And it was a kind of grief, but also a kind of, what do we have in this moment? What do we have right here? Well, for us, life is still good. We're still doing a writing lesson. We still have a kid that's enjoying it. We still have a beautiful day. And all of these bigger concerns, we all knew that there were no planes flying in the sky. We all knew that there was going to be craziness when we got home and turned on the TV at night. But for that period of time, those few hours when we were together, it was just being in the moment. What's going to be good? Well, after that, as you know, everything went to crap. The economy went to crap in Boston. I was working north of Boston in Andover. I lost my I didn't lose my writing instructor job. They just had to cut back on hours because everybody's hours were cut back. Everybody got terrified. Companies were terrified. Travel became difficult. Also, everybody knew somebody who had died in one of the planes. 6 degrees of separation in Boston. There were so many Boston people on those planes. So many of the planes had gone out of Boston that you would meet somebody who was related, either a child, a nephew, a niece, a husband, somebody who was related to someone who died in one of the plane crashes. I know in New York it was worse. I'm sure that there were more people who died in the towers themselves, and somebody knew somebody who was connected with that. But in Boston, there was also the sense of guilt. We didn't check our planes enough to keep these people safe, and that kept circulating through the air We didn't check our planes. We weren't careful enough. Our security wasn't good enough to keep everybody safe, to keep everybody in New York safe, to keep people in the Pentagon safe, to keep the people in Pennsylvania safe. So there was a deep, deep grieving between Boston and New York, but Boston felt responsible. The people of Boston felt responsible. And the fire departments of Boston and the police departments of Boston sent people. And so then you knew somebody who was down working at Ground Zero, and you were talking with people who were coming out of there, and when they would try to speak about it, were just crying. You know, they'd start to tell you what it was like, and they were just crying, and there wasn't anything they could do to stop themselves. And I'm just remembering the people that I talked to. I didn't go, but I talked to so many people, and so many people needed to talk about it, and they were just crying at what they saw there. So that was the aftermath, the personal weeks and months aftermath. You know, for a little bit of time on the day, I had a thought, as most Pollyannish spirit mediums do, that we had a choice, the United States and our government had a choice as a country. The choice was to pursue the path of war and violence, or the choice was to pursue the path of nonviolence and to simply increase our security members and to take no warlike action against others in retribution for what a few people had done. And before George Bush spoke about, gave his reaction and spoke on TV on that day about countries harboring terrorists would be considered to be nations at war with us, before he proclaimed his anger and his violence and his warlikeness to the whole nation and went forward with that kind of plan, I was hopeful that he would in some ways turn the other cheek and batten down the hatches, that we would see a sea change of us stepping away from violence, because all of a sudden we had witnessed the most violent act on American soil that we had ever seen. And of course, that wasn't going to happen. That was my personal hope, my personal spiritualist hope, my personal Quaker spiritualist, Quaker-raised spiritualist hope was that, we had a choice: step away from promulgating more violence and turn the other cheek and become Christian, truly Christian, not the George Bush Christian that he said he was, truly Christian, saying, no, we're going to gather with our friends, we're going to grieve, we're going to find these people, we're going to make alliances, and we're also going to make sure that from now on people are safe when they board planes, and that planes are safe, and we're going to look for these terrorist cells. But no, that's not what happened. Instead, we had more aggression and more terror. And I thought myself at the time, this is, I wasn't reading this, and I thought in some ways bin Laden is right, that in our wanting to have more war to fight back on these few Al-Qaeda operatives who created so much devastation so quickly for us, that we would turn ourselves into pretzels and begin to bankrupt ourselves and create very negative situations for our country, which would eventually possibly cause our country to fail. I'm not sure that that's not true in some way, but so far so good. 15 years later, we're still going. We still have a president. We still have people who vote for what it's worth. So, bin Laden couldn't have been too right about that, at least not just yet. And he can't take credit for it if we do ourselves in. So at least there's that. But going back even further, as somebody who's been involved in the paranormal field, in the ufology field, I had friends who were doing remote viewing and from 1996 on. And in 1996, and this may seem like it's not related, but it is related, because this was the first time I heard of a supposed government plot to allow the military to take over the United States. And the thought was that this plot was going to come to fruition in March of 2003, which was when the Iraq War started with the WMD. But the first time I heard about it was at Star Knowledge in South Dakota, the first Star Knowledge conference. And it was being talked about by Whitley Strieber and some of the other male older writers and experiencers. And Whitley just could not stop talking about this government plot to make the United States less free and to have a lot more, and for the military to take over the running of the government, and for us to have more or less a military government starting in 2003. And, you know, a lot of other people who were there to talk about, you know, alien abductions and contact and experiences, and a lot of other people who were women and a lot of other people who were Native, we were sitting in this circle, and man, these guys just could not stop talking about the U.S. wanting to have the military take over the country in 2003. And it was 1996, and so we sat there, and an old lady would say, well, you know, if that happens, we're going to have to respond to it at the time. And then I would say, yeah, you know, we got to be grassroots people. If that happens, we got to respond to it at the time. And of course, they were so frustrated with us because they had all these ideas about how the U.S. was going to, the military was going to take over the U.S. government, and why. But none of the ideas that I heard were the Twin Tower bombings. Like it just, people knew it was out there. I talked to other spirit mediums and friends between 1996 and the Twin Towers, and as it got closer, I had one friend who I had taken mental mediumship class with who had also been at Star Knowledge, Elizabeth Herman. She's a wonderful medium if you're in the Boston area, Arlington area, if she's working right now. She and she's a wonderful astrologer. She had an insight. She knew something was coming, and she just didn't know what to make of it either. So there were rumors, things were flying about, floating about, and people knew in the spiritual community and in the experiencer community that something was coming, but they just couldn't quite put their finger on exactly what it was, because in the universe of everything that can happen, there are just too many variables and data points without really specific, significant who, what, where, when, why information to know. You can know that something's going to be changing. You can know that it may be affecting our collective freedoms. You can know that it may be changing how we view others in the world and our place in the world and whether or not we're safe. You can know that there will be a change in a tightening down, a militaristic tightening down in public policy. But without even more information that's more specific, it can be exceedingly hard to know why. What's going to cause that? And it became very clear on 9/11. And then as we went forward into 2003, shifting with George Bush shifting his policy from a preemptive strike and to nations that supported Al-Qaeda as being terrorist nations, to him moving over to Saddam Hussein. So that's my story of what was going on with me on September 10th and 11th and in the years before. I'm glad I wasn't in New York. I'm glad I was living in the Boston area and not New York. But I can tell you there is a large, large burden of guilt that was felt in Boston, that somehow there had been a failure in letting those planes take off. And a deep, deep grieving for friends and family members and coworkers who had been on the planes, and even friends and family workers who were in New York in the towers at the time. And 15 years later, there are many people who are still carrying the shock and the grief and the sadness of those events. And if I think about it too much, I'll be doing the same thing. So I'm going to take a drink of water, and I'm going to talk a little bit about how the U.S. has changed since that time. And then we're going to give some thanks to our Canadian northern neighbors, because James has some information to share with us about how Canada helped us out during this. It's quick, but hold on one second while I take a swig. Yes.
Talk amongst yourselves, and she'll be drinking water. It's amazing. If you can actually see us, she's drinking water, and I'm talking. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. She keeps pulling that little string in my back.
I am not. I am not drinking whiskey. It's not. I'm not drowning my sorrows in single malt scotch, which I wish sometimes I were, but it's water. So. Now, I guess since you're here, you want to tell people how Canada helped out the United States?
Yeah, it was interesting today. I'm part of a Canadian Army Veterans motorcycle unit. It's called 3rd Cav. It's made up of members of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, which is a dragoon regiment and has battle honors going back to the mid-1800s and right up to Afghanistan. So we all attend every year in the last 15 years, actually 14 years, the 9/11 ride just beside a small town in Washington State called Blaine. Now, Blaine is right on the border crossing, right on the ocean, and there's an arch there, and it's called the Peace Arch. And we meet at September 11th at 10 a.m., and we meet up with first responders from the United States. In fact, we have first responders come out from New York. We have fire and police who were there working, actually, and lost their partners in the event in 9/11. We also had today, and I can't remember her title, but she's basically a like the attaché or the consul general, I think. Yeah, it's the consul general to the U.S. Gave a really good speech, along with our Minister of National Defense, who's a brilliant guy. And they both brought up something that a lot of us really didn't know at the time. But if you ever run into the name, or when you're doing research, if you're poking around the 9/11 history, there's a guy, a Canadian, he belonged to Canadian Navy, a guy named Captain Mike Jelinek. And he was in charge of NORAD out at Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado during 9/11. And he's the one who gave the order to ground all air traffic in the United States. So the reason the planes all diverted and no one was allowed, helicopters, everybody was grounded in the U.S. was a Canadian captain who hit the button, which I thought was kind of
really
interesting.
Good call.
I think at the time they were, NORAD was right in the middle of a training exercise when this happened. So there's that ripple of confusion that would go through. And I've been in training exercises where they surprise you with a twist. And I could just imagine you're in a training exercise in a little dark room at the bottom of a bunker, and somebody calls up and says, yeah, we've had 2 terrorist attacks of the Twin Towers that are on fire. And you're going, okay, now what do I do? Not thinking they're real, because you don't get to watch TV usually when you're in the middle of a training exercise. But I could see how that kind of ripple effect would go through. And what the cool thing, if you can even imagine anything was cool, it was a bad term, sorry, but you would be more relaxed then, oh my gosh, it's a terrorist attack. You think it's part of the exercise, so you would be focused on solving the problem. And then, 5 minutes later, saying, no, this is not an exercise. This really did happen. And of course, you look back in Canada, we went through, just like in the US, you kind of micro take everything that happened, all the tapes, all the phone calls, and look at it and just sift through it to see if it could have been done any better. And, you have phone calls coming in and then somebody walking up to Mike and saying, hey, turn the TV on. And the first thing is, oh, wow, what a terrible accident. And then the second one, no, this isn't an accident. Ground everybody. And they had, the two more jets, one going into the Pentagon. Yes, it really went into the Pentagon. And the other one that went down in the field. Now, I was working at the Organized Crime Agency of British Columbia at the time, and we worked with a lot of U.S. counterparts, and there was an ICE agent in our building, and we brought the TVs in and we were watching it, and I remember watching all the planes from all over the world come in, stacking up as they're trying to land in the Vancouver International Airport. Planes from countries and airlines that I've never seen before, mixed in with some F-18 fighters. But he's on the ICE agent's on the phone, and he said, I've got a buddy at, I think it's Otis Air Force Base. Anyway, he says they've been scrambled to intercept a commercial airliner. And we all looked at him and went, what the you're kidding me. So that's the one that actually went down in the field. But they had to go on that one. But you'll hear people saying, well, no. NORAD actually recalled everything. But it's timing, I think. There's a controversy whether NORAD, once they took control from the FAA, that they recalled the fighters. Well, I think they recalled the fighters because they were too far away anyway, and the thing was going down. Our prime minister at the time had given the over the phone, gave the verbal, if we need to, we'll take something down. And one of the big flights that was important for me and us in this part of the world was a Korean Flight 85, which in the confusion, and the I think a couple of F-15s went out from Alaska to intercept this thing. He put out a code for, we've been hijacked.
Oh, no.
And this is coming over the polar route, over towards, past Alaska and coming down into Vancouver. And they weren't responding well, and then the F-15s came up to it, and the pilots were actually responding to what they were saying, so they allowed them to land up in the Whitehorse and the Yukon territories in Canada, where they're met on the ground by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Now you're thinking, oh my God, you've got this 747 full of people that had a terrorist, and you're going to meet it with a bunch of policemen. I guarantee you, those F-15s weren't that far away. That's reciprocal agreement that almost goes without saying, you're in Canada. Yes, this plane landed, but if for some reason it's going to take off just before it lands, splash it. Because it just had to be done. And the Prime Minister of Canada at the time, Chrétien, was actually after said, I gave the verbal okay to take down a passenger jet, but I really expect them to call me back before their finger hit the button, and just to double check. And we had a few. We had one. We had the Korean flight. We had another one, a U.S. flight. I can't remember where they are now, but there was 3 of them that were suspicious. This kind of hinky. And they were all followed in by either Canadian F-18s or the US F-15s. And we don't live that far from we don't live that far from nuclear submarine base, fighter bases, and naval resources out of Washington State. So, and we've got Canadian Navy, and we've got one Air Force base, Canadian Air Force base on the West Coast here. So we had planes all over the place, and it was busy. It was busy. I think they diverted 33,000 people, 280 some flights diverted, 30,000. No, I can't remember. Probably 33. Yeah. I can't remember either, but there were huge numbers.
Nobody flew, and that was one of my coworkers at my next job, because I had to quit within the month. I went to work for a multinational medical corporation right after that, and I was in the legal department, and I knew the head of the legal department. He had been on a flight that ended up getting diverted to Chicago, and they think that was the last main flight, the one that was one of the ones that was supposed to go to Washington. But and they did pull somebody off that flight when it landed, but it was the timing of the fact that they alerted everybody. By the time the NORAD guy had said everybody ground, that was when everybody knew to buckle down, and so they think that actually saved the flight that he was on, because just because of the timing, and they were escorted in by F-15s on that flight, and then they pulled somebody off. But the thing is, they couldn't move anybody. Once you got where you were on the ground for how many days? Was it like a week? Mm-hmm. I mean, it literally ended up for some people, of all of these thousands and tens of thousands of people who were in the air, you were where you were. You weren't getting another flight to get you where you were going. So, just forget about it. And when people say it didn't happen, well, know some people who were in the air, it happened for them. They were where they were. That's what they, had to deal with. But
238 planes landed in Canada. Officially, most numbers say there was like 224, but 33,000 people diverted, and kind of put up for a bit, for a few days anyway.
Yeah, for a few days.
And
well, thank you, Canada.
Oh, we're connected, so it's okay. Yeah, it's just one of those things. It is what it is. We had. Was it 200 and some Canadians were killed in the towers?
Wow. We
had one of the firemen was supposed to come out for the ceremonies today, but he was hospitalized a couple of days ago with a 9/11 related illness because of the crap and everything that was in those buildings when they come down. And a lot of firefighters that I know, that was the biggest thing. The older guys that are retired now, other than they probably smoked a lot when they were a kid, but these guys were breathing in burning plastics and burning whatever. You don't know what building materials, or when a computer burns and your non-organic table you sit at your desk burns, that toxic air, and and the dust that thing that threw out from all the building material and the microscopic plastic and everything else, that's in somebody's lungs, and that goes for the citizens who are trying to. You remember those shots on television where they're just covered in white dust trying to leave the area? That stuff is toxic, absolutely horrific, toxic, and unfortunately, a lot of medical insurance companies argue that it's not, and these. They're still going through issues with insurance, even the first responders.
Yeah, which just seems so wrong. There should just be a blanket. If you were there at 9/11, you just get your lungs taken care of, and just because we're patriotic. But companies in the United States, I don't know. We can't. We just don't believe in our companies are in the business of taking care of themselves. There are very few patriotic companies, and that's a whole other issue about corporate personhood. Man, never mind.
Never mind.
Never mind. We'll get into that on another day. But yes, it was, I think, just such a shock to everyone, and such a shock for the days afterwards, not seeing any planes in the sky. People, going around quietly, some people very angry, some people just quietly grieving, and then a sense of gratitude that I did get a sense that at least in Boston and in between Boston and New York, a gratitude for each other, a gratitude that, by and large, we don't do each other that kind of harm as people. We have a sense of solidarity and a gratitude for each other, that grateful that if we didn't know people on the planes or the people who were left, we were grateful for them. And that's another odd thing that people don't understand, is that sense of, after the grieving or during the grieving, there's a sense of gratitude for the people who were heroes, the firefighters and the policemen who were heroes, and the police and the people in the towers that helped each other. I had another coworker whose mother was one of the, on Flight 93, she was one of the flight crew, and she was instrumental in helping to organize taking that plane down. And people were mentioning her on the phone when they were saying their goodbyes. So this coworker knew that her mother had been a hero. She lost her mother, but her mother had been a hero. And she would talk about her, and she would cry, and I think about it, and, I cry. But you don't know until somebody steps up whether or not they are a hero. And of course, she didn't know. She might have suspected that about her mom, but she didn't know. But she was mentioned on the phone. People were talking. People who had been called had mentioned her by name. So a lot of gratitude for those people who sacrificed, who decided to bring that plane down. So that's kind of, 9/11, 15 years later, I forget. I'm still kind of in shock myself.
It was hard. It's hard because you, as a first responder, you kind of get used to running towards stuff that's blowing up as opposed to running away from things. It's like how to find the undercover policeman in a crowd. Set off an explosion and he'll be the one running towards the explosion while everybody else is running away. It's kind of odd that way, and you keep coming back to, in my case, you just feel unable to help somebody. So what was good, where we could actually take in people that were flying and stuck on planes, where you could go out to the airport and look them in the eye and see they're grieving because these people are U.S. citizens and they're watching the news and listening to it, and by the grace of God, there go I've just been on a plane, what if? So there's a bit of stress going, and they're in shock, and how am I going to get home, and how long is this going to last, and what else is happening in my country? And unfortunately, CNN, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but I think 9/11 and the Gulf War is what really made CNN something to look at. During an emergency. In between emergencies, it's a piece of crap. But the it was something we could go to and say, I have contact with you, or in my office with the ICE agents, the DEA, and U.S. Custom guys. They're right in our office, so you could read on their face they were confused. And a lot of these guys are ex-military and still not quite understanding, don't know if they should be going home to the U.S. They got family in the U.S., but they're now living in Canada while they work up here. It was something we could hold on to and literally go out for a beer and talk about. But and that's how we kind of went through it. We had a connection. And there's people, of course, that had traveled to New York and had seen the towers and had that tactile memory of being there in a food court or whatever. And yeah, it was a very horrible thing. And I always look at very horrible things as a bumper on the little kids' bowling lanes where life is going on and we hit this horrible thing, but it deflects us back on the right track. Well, and it deflect us. Yeah. This one, I think, deflect us back to the other bumper, which bounces back to the other bumper, but we're still moving in the right direction. We just have all these bumps since then.
Yeah, what I noticed is I've been to New York since I'd been in New York before 9/11, and I was always a Bostonian in the fact that I'd be in New York for a few days or a couple of weeks, and I'd be like, I got to get back to my friendly little jewel city, my little Oz on the Massachusetts. Yeah, it's a little jewel city. It's some people don't think Bostonians are friendly, but they are. They just yell at you in their friendliness. Hey, what the hell are you doing? So you just have to go, I'm parking my car with my bumper next to your bumper. Get over it. But I always want to go back to Boston after I'd been in New York because I felt New York people were really boarded up, energetically boarded up, not looking at each other, not noticing each other, not wanting anybody in their personal space when they're riding the trains. And in Boston, it's the same way. You get on public transportation, people board up. But I went back to New York after 9/11, and people were more open to everybody. They were looking people in the eye, talking to people they didn't know. More people were more open, more accepting, more allowing than I had ever experienced before 9/11. So I think psychically and interpersonally, and that New York had a kind of slap in the face, which was you can't go around ignoring your people because somebody's going to come and take a bunch of you out. So start being grateful for each other, start noticing each other, start validating each other, because you don't know when some a-hole is going to come and try to take somebody out. And a very similar thing in Boston happened. People did get friendlier in Boston, and not as much as New York. But if you're from Boston, you understand Bostonians. The definition of friendly is you kind of have to be in the know of what friendly actually is to understand it. So on
a micro scale of that, we had a terrible shooting of a bunch of Mounties a few years back on the East Coast. A fellow with mental health issues in a rifle went out and just started shooting, and it was the community withdraws.
Right.
After everything is kind of calmed down, the community comes out, and they actually lowered their fences between the properties. People noticed it. They were cutting down hedges. They were out talking to their neighbors more. Everything became one big. Their street became one big home with all these little cubby holes. Like all the houses became one big home. if you see what I'm saying.
Right.
Where they were all
opened up.
Yeah, they all were carrying their little box life going until this horrific of event happened in front of them, and then all the walls broke down after that, and they all connected.
Right.
It's a horrible way to do it, but
it's a horrible way to do it, but it's a way that can be done, and it's too bad that as countries, apparently with our executor of our country, that was just not going to happen. He was just going to go beat the crap out of people for, doing this. And I know a lot of people respected that. They felt that showed strength, that showed, that, and I have even some spiritual friends who think, no, you have to fight, you have to be strong, you have to show strength and violence sometimes, even if you're on the spiritual path. But I don't know. I think that it played a little bit too much into the aims of that particular President W. Because he really did want to go after Saddam Hussein. Anyway, all right. Well, I'll see you I'll listen to you when you get back. Good night, all.
Okay, and thank you very much. I really appreciate this, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay. All right, bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Hi there, this is Dave Scott, and I would like to invite you to listen Monday through Friday right here on Spaced Out Radio. 3 hours a night of the top stories with the top guests, ranging topics from UFOs to ETs, ghosts to Sasquatch, and everything in between. We are live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. So come on in and take a listen at spacedoutradio.com. Spaced Out Radio will take you out of this world.
Hi there, this is your psychic medium Joanna, and I would love it if you would join us every other Sunday on Spaced Out Weekend. With host James Tyson, we'll bring you personal psychic messages on 2 mediums and a large. Questions about love, life, career changes. We would love it if you would come and join us live. Call in and listen in for the experience. Allow us to open the doors to your other side. 2 mediums and a large, heard only on Spaced Out Weekend at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for news beyond the mainstream news? Head to spacedoutradio.com and check out the SOR Spacewire. This is Spaced Out Radio's Eric Markham, News Director for the SOR Spacewire. Daily, I will bring you intriguing stories and outlandish reports from what's going on around the world. UFO sightings, paranormal activity, conspiracies, alternative health, and so much more. And if you have news, email me at news@spacedoutradio.com.
Attention Spaced Out Radio listeners. For only $5 a month, you can join Spaced Out Radio Space Travelers. Your membership at spacedoutradio.com will give you access to private fan area on the website, get you a monthly newsletter, draws for monthly swag, and a whole lot more. Sign up today to become a part of the Spaced Out Radio experience.
Strange creatures lurking in the night, the sounds of wood knocking in the forest, odd happenings right out of a fictional world. These are the reports I love. Hi there, this is author Ronald Murphy, and I would love it if you join me and Spaced Out Radio host Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month on our journey into the unknown land of cryptozoology at spacedoutradio.com. From Mothman to Frogman and everything in between. Hey, they don't call me the crypto guru for nothing.
Greetings and salutations, space travelers, from the Chronicles of the Unknown team.
What is Chronicles of the Unknown? I keep hearing about this thing.
It's a new paranormal reality TV show based right here in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Follow our team as we uncover claims of activity on the Caribou Gold Rush Trail. You can also follow us here every third Monday, where 2 members of our team will be available to answer your questions. We'll give you some equipment updates and some of our experiences on the road, right here on Spaced Out Radio.
For over over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle.
Patrolling the Pacific Northwest, we are always on the lookout for the strange and unassuming stories that real people are experiencing. Hi, I'm Vincent Zunza from Pacific North Weird. Me and Alexandra Sullivan have teamed to bring to you those odd stories that never seem to make it into the mainstream. Stories so weird that will leave you scratching your head wondering, is this real? It's as real as it gets with Pacific North Weird. You can watch our videos right here at spacedoutradio.com.
It's time to go live on Spaced Out Weekend.
13, please. Oh, hi, Kevin. Oh, is that the time? Kevin, my friend, don't you find that watch just a little bit loud? Well, I certainly hope our buddy Bumblefoot is playing when we get there. Oh, you stinky big bundle of hair. I said Bumblefoot, not Bigfoot. Oh, it's going to be a long night.
It's time to head to the 13th floor of the old log cabin for Spaced Out Weekend with James Tyson. You can tweet James at James Tyson SOR. You can find him on Instagram, Spaced Out Weekend, as well as on Facebook. On YouTube, our channel is Spaced Out Radio Show, and you can check out our website, spacedoutradio.com.
Little brother has taken control, shoveling dirt in every hole. Predators to condemn your soul, watching you and watching me. We're all connected but separated, misunderstood and so frustrated. A million armies of one have invaded, watching you and watching me. We live behind glass curtains and act like nothing's wrong. Soon you will belong. I know you're out there somewhere. We've watched you for so long. We wait for you to fall. We will expose you all. I know you're out there somewhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
And now, perched high in his captain's chair, way above the clouds, here's James Tyson.
Who, me? Yes, it is I. Thank you, Dave Scott. It's I, just James. The same guy I was talking to Elizabeth a little bit earlier. We are broadcasting from our lovely little log cabin on the 13th floor of the Spaced Out Radio Network here in the paranormal portals of the lower left Canadian coast. Or the upper left if you're in the US of A. And we are here on the 15th anniversary of 9/11 with our two mediums, Joanna, the medium, and Paisley Town, our numberologist. Okay, there's no B in there, but I thought I'd throw that in. I always got to throw a B in when I have to. What I do need to do is to remind you who these people are, and remind you that Joanna has her own website. It's joannathemedium.com. This is not a call-in show to have a 1-hour reading from Joanna. You can do that by going to our website, joannathemedium.com. These are, let's keep these short and sweet. And paisleytown.com is where you can get a hold of Paisley. She will pull some cards for you. She does numerology. And if you're local, you can show up with a piece of metal or something, and she can tell you how it was made and by who. Paisley, if I had a tooth fall out and had a filling in it and I gave it to... No, okay. All right. Now, an important note. We will be talking about some stuff, some 9/11 things. Joanna will not confirm for you the attack on 9/11 was a conspiracy. So please don't ask. She has expressed that her answer will not placate conspiracy theorists. Think about that. She's already told me. Because I'm special. And yeah, so if you have a friend or had a friend who passed, or have a question about what would happen possibly to some of the spirit energies that were created, or I guess weren't created there, but were lost in that attack or any other great attacks, you can ask that question. We're not going to get into conspiracies, as I say. Please, if you had a loved one that may have been lost, feel free to call in. Our number is 575-694-6634. Again, 575-694-6634. And you can also get a hold of me via Skype at James_Tyson32. Again, James_Tyson32, and we'll get you in via Skype. And you all know who Joanna is. She is a very, very cool medium. She's a evidential spiritual medium, evidently. A registered professional counselor and a registered clinical counseling hypnotherapist. I got to hit you up, Joanna, for a past life regression. Joanna is just a regular person with their normal joys and challenges of life, and she just happens to have this gift that seems to come naturally, and this gift of Joanna's is expanding. I've seen, I think it was last October, it's been a year now, and Joanna's really, really growing in her intuitiveness, and her vibration is going through the roof. It's been very cool to see, Joanna. Yeah, you're just bubbly. and Paisley Town is an intuitive psychic, psychometry, tarot, numerology, and she's a teacher. And I may end up having to take a kind of a card reading course from her relatively quick here. I posted that on my Facebook page. She grew up in southern Ontario, which we don't really hold against her. She always felt various unexplainable tugs and an affinity for stone, shells, crystals, and other inert forms that nonetheless teemed with life and structure. Now, in the mid-90s, she was drawn to begin her metaphysical training, and while trained in many mystical and psychic arts, that always sounds like you're like standing at a cauldron stirring. It was when she introduced to psychometry, which is sensing associations from personal objects, in her case, mostly metal objects other than fillings in my teeth, but jewelry and keys and belt buckles. Her intuitive compass pointed north. So up she went into this great intuitiveness. And welcome, ladies. Hello. And I haven't talked to... I've talked to Paisley. She almost ran me over the other day in front of my house. But and Paisley and I went on a really cool paranormal investigation because Paisley is now a part of the Canadian... what are we called? That's what it was. I kept saying the Society for Canadian Paranormal, but that would be so French to mix up all the different letters. But yeah, that was kind of cool. There is something, and it's Joanna. There's a young fella in there, almost 4 years old. He is such a high vibration little guy that every wandering soul in the neighborhood shows up. And they've had groups come in there. They've had the house cleaned, and within a short period of time, all the entities show up again. And space clearing, yes. So this has been bothering me for a while. I've been whittling on it, and I really think we're going to need a Reiki master and a psychic to come in. The Reiki master just pumping that place full of good energy, pushing them out, and then within 24 hours, the medium coming in and literally doing a crossover for these little weasels. What do you think, Paisley? I was asking you, Paise. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, the follow-up is important. I've been told that in cases like this, when the little fella is like the lightning rod for the spirits, it is because he's too young to train himself, you have to, a lot of these wandering souls have to get not pushed on, but asked to move on to the best of our ability. I certainly can. You did drop, the phone dropped for a second, but it came back on. Yes, he's a live little Dickens. Oh. Probably not. He's almost 4 years old. He sees the men and the ladies in his room and runs down and sleeps with mom and dad. Now, yep. Yeah, the swirl. His grandmother on his father's side is a psychic that helps police. His father is gifted in that way. And during our investigation, we found out that mom, who didn't think she was that way inclined, her sister has seen spirits. So I think mom is a bit of a high energy person too. And she's the one who's stressed out, really. This is all coming really hard and heavy with her right now. You guys still there? Oh, okay. Every so often, I didn't see you nod. I didn't see you nod. Nope. We're okay as long as we don't mention where or who. Okie dokie. I think we can mention their names. The name is John Doe. Anyway, yeah. Joanna, I was doing an interview last night, and I sketched something. I'm wondering if you could kind of talk to me about the sketch that I drew, because I'm not concerned. I think I know who this might have been, and it's somebody who's passed. If my dad happens to be there, he might know. I'm not sure. No. Oh, okay. That's cool. Okay, there's people saying they can't hear us right now. Yeah, so hold on. I will find out what's going on. Stand by. Okay. Could you guys say something now?
I can say something now.
Oh, perfect.
I can too.
There we go. Things seem to be working. Thanks, Dom. She shook me, and and everything went okay. That was weird. That silly Skype thing.
There is something in retrograde which will make communications that much more difficult, and I've experienced that with my videos. And Paisley and I were just talking about it too.
Oh, okay. Well, let's move on from my sketch and talk about. And off air we were talking about a sketch that I made. Do you think, Joanna, that if I start doing sketches at these investigations, that is something I should be doing? Was I anywhere accurate in the ones that I drew?
Let me ask.
Okay. I'll wait here.
That's a good idea, James.
My guide said he needs more practice with the details.
Okay. But
I feel you're onto something.
Okay, so
yeah.
The one that I drew, now, just so the listener knows, Paisley walked by a tree and she got a feeling of, what was it? The broken arm?
I got broken arm and it was actually not a tree. It was a tree stump that had been cut down some time ago. It didn't look recent to me, but the feeling that I got a little bit of like panic and a little bit of like shock and broken arm, but I couldn't see whose arm got broken or if it was male or female.
Oh, okay. And then I was in another room sketching, and I drew a lady with kind of a blanket over top of her, but she had her left arm like in a sling across her chest, which was, I was just wondering if that was connected.
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah. But
yeah, I would say yes.
Okay, I'm going to mention the phone number again right now, and we did have a call from a 303 number drop, and if you guys call in at 575-694-6634 again. Who is this Spirit of Peace person? Oh, that's never mind. Elizabeth, 575-694-6634, or give me a shout on Skype at James_Tyson32. That's James_Tyson32. And I've got my 303 caller back, trying to add them. Hi, caller, are you there? I'm pressing. No, they're gone. I'm going to give them a call because I can. And let's see how that works. Okay. Where did my 303 go? There we go. Add to group call. Add to group call. Add. It's ringing. It's ringing. I want to answer. And that's me beating on the thing. Please don't leave a voice message if you guys call, because I don't go back and listen to voice messages. And let's see what else we have here. And how is this? Oh, Joseph. Are you there? Joseph? Hello.
Hello.
Joey Giggles, how the dickens are you?
How are you?
Good, sir.
Excellent. Excellent. Yes, today was a long day, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Today was a long day, yes. 9/11. A very long day for us people in New York.
Yeah, I bet.
Very long day. I had a loved one die in the North Tower. And I guess I would like a reading based on that.
Okay, this is going to be one of those tough nights. Hey, Joey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
hanging in there.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Okay, let me just see. Okay, there's a gentleman in front of me. I'm going to describe him to you. First of all, is it a gentleman you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, I'll describe him to you. I don't know if he's for you, but I've asked for anyone who is in spirit that's connected to you and who died in the tragic event. This gentleman, first of all, he shows me mustache with him. He's showing me a bit of he calls it a beer belly. He says he has a very loud mouth and a loud laugh. I would say he would have had dark hair as opposed to blonde, although he's not showing me his hair, but he is showing me that he's balding on top, but he's trying to make fun of his hair right now. He is showing me the facial hair again. Also, there's smoking involved with him, at least at some point. He is showing me, of all things, his shoes. Why are you showing me your shoes? He says, my shoes are dirty. What do you mean? Something about his shoes always either always being not polished or really, really polished. It's one of those two opposites. Does the description mean anything to you?
Yes, part of it. I guess the shoe part I don't really know about because I knew I was close with him, but I wasn't that close with him. So I would say, like he was first cousins to the family.
He's saying to me, if he's funny. Okay. He's saying to me, if you were a female, you would have paid more attention, but because
yeah, he would say that. Yeah, he would definitely say that. Yes.
Okay. I keep seeing the word Italian. I don't know if there's Italian background or he has this movement about him like an Italian. He has that kind of a feel. And he keeps showing me a stake, but he's hiding the stake behind him. And I don't know what this means other than it's supposed to mean something to you. Okay, let me just see. Heart. Okay, why did you show me a steak? He says, I wasn't supposed to eat it. He's showing me he's either had some issues with cholesterol or heart, and he had to watch his fat intake. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, he just shows me on his neck, he's wearing a chain and there is a cross. This is either because he had one or he had belief in God, as he says it to me. And he just kissed the cross. That's people do that when they believe like in God or religion or something of that sort. He also mentions Mother Mary, and that to me is significant of Catholicism. Was he Catholic?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me see if there's anything else. He's rubbing his head that's balding. And what are you trying to show me, sweetie? He says, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So he was balding, I guess I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay. He's still asking me to look at his shoes, and he's laughing. Okay, I'm just going to move on from that. He wants you. He keeps showing me this beer belly. Does that resonate with you? Because I'm supposed to say that. Okay, and he's very proudly displaying that he's smoking to his heart's content. But I feel the way he's showing this to me is either he quit smoking, was supposed to quit smoking, or he really wanted to. He was working on it. Does that make any sense to you? Because he's displaying this, and it's a bit of a mockery he's doing. Does that make any sense to you? Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He's also showing me a Christmas tree, something about Christmas time. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was one of your last meetings with him around Christmas time?
I gotta remember now. Yeah, it was around before or after Thanksgiving, before Christmas. Yeah.
He's showing me around Christmas time. Also, he's saying to me he was fond of wine, red wine in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, may I ask his name?
Yes, his name is Frank Thomas Aquilino.
Okay. Frank, okay. He was showing me letter R. Okay, Frank, I want to see if he has something else to say to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's asking you to please take care of his family. Okay, I'm assuming you would understand what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's also referring to a child. Did he leave a child behind?
No, he wasn't married.
Okay, he's pointing to a young, I don't know if it's a young boy or a girl, but someone that he was very close to. So if this is not his child, it's either his nephew or his niece. Would you understand what that means?
Yeah, he had 2 sisters, and the 2 sisters had nieces and nephews, yes.
Okay, also he's showing me number 19, so whoever he's referring to would have turned or is about the age of 19 or 20 right now, and I feel now he's talking more about a female.
Mm-hmm.
Would you understand what that means?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you like to ask him anything in particular?
I personally would like to know how he passed away. And it always bothered me, it always bothered me because he was on the top floors.
Please, okay, hang on 1 second because I feel like I want to throw up right now. Well, the first thing he said is he fell. Okay, just a second. I'm going to see what he can show me. This is uncomfortable. He fell through the floors. Sorry, this is hitting me. He fell and then something crushed him on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Thank you for that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I have to say this because before you called, I asked my guide, what are we going to talk about? And he says, we're going to talk about death. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And this is, okay. So Frank is waving at me. He says, hey, I'm fine. Snap out of it.
Okay.
But it can hit me hard.
Wow. Thank you for that. I appreciate you reading that for me.
My pleasure. He wants to say a little bit more, if you're okay with that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He says he wasn't afraid because it was very fast. It's almost like he didn't have time to be afraid. Mm-hmm. That's really important for you to know. And it's important for his family to know this, especially his mother. Is his mother alive still?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, please tell her if you are able to, or if she would accept this kind of message. Mm-hmm. By the time something came on top of him, he was already unconscious, so he did not feel it. But he's showing me being crushed. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you're able to affirm this or not, but
no, actually, they really couldn't find any parts or anybody for him. So,
Wow, that sucks.
Yep, unfortunately. Yeah, we had a memorial for him, and that's all we could do, and then we just put his name on the stone. We didn't have any ashes, nothing, so we just, had to,
Okay, I'm going to ask him if he can tell me what happened to his. Are you okay with this? With remains?
Yes, please. Mm-hmm.
He's talking about there being a fire and eventually an explosion. Would that make any sense to you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he was in the impact zone.
And then he says that it just basically disintegrated.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gotcha. So he was sort of incinerated, basically. Right.
He said disintegrated. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wow. And I always talk about that on my 9/11 show.
Mm-hmm.
I always talk about that, and I would never picture him being one of the jumpers, So I definitely thought he
right away,
die a different day.
Right away, he said to me, "I fell," and he showed me, He has someone with him. I don't know if this. I'm gonna just go with it. He's asking her to come forward. This is a lady. She has a baby with her. I hear the name Helen or something that has a letter H in it. I feel she would have had a different background. And when I ask her, what is this about the baby? She says to me, I can't quite decipher whether she had a brand new baby or she was pregnant. And the baby is or was a boy. I don't... And she's coming forward because she left her husband behind. And she keeps saying, "I'm sorry I wasn't there when you called. I don't know who this is for. Maybe somebody's listening." I feel she could have been Spanish or Portuguese, that kind of a background. But the baby is very significant.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with me. I don't.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I know this has nothing to do with you, but she wanted to come forward, and Frank brought her forward. I don't know who this message is for. If there's anyone listening, maybe they can recognize it. I keep hearing the name Helen or something with an H, Helena, something of that sort, and the baby boy. And she showed me the number 7. As being significant about her or her husband, so that's 7 or July.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah. No, thank you, guys.
Oh,
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate the reading. It actually helped me, gain a little bit of closure. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Joey, the other thing I want you to walk away with is him joking around.
Yeah.
On the other side.
He was always like that. Yeah. He was always like that.
He's still joking around, and now he can do all those things that were unhealthy.
Yeah. To his heart's content. And that he says that literally. He's leaving and he's kissing his cross. And I'm asking him, is this something for you, Joey? And he says, yes. He says, trust God. And I don't know if you're a religious person or if you're faith or whatever, but he says just have faith, trust God.
Okay. And I will. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate
it. My pleasure.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you, Joseph.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Christopher is calling in, and I'm trying to add him to the group call, and my machine is laughing at me. Christopher, are you there? I see you actually in our system. Let me see what evils lurk in the hearts of men. Hey, Christopher, I might end up having to call you back. Stand by. Yeah, we're having an interesting time receiving at this point. And, I just got somebody in a 212 area code. And where's Christopher here? Add to group call. Add to group call. Adding to group call. Okay, whoever's calling in from a 212 area code, I'm giving you a shout back. Joey, I'm going to have to hang up on you. And get Christopher in here. Calling him. And of course, Joey's face popped up on my computer. What an odd thing to pop up on my computer. Joseph, stop that. Yeah, this is really... You're right, guys. This is a bit of an interesting cluster here. Quit sending me voice messages. Don't make me pull this car over, young man.
It's Chris getting your voicemail.
No, it's... Yeah, because if I... Let me see this. Hello?
Hello, this is Chris.
Okay, Chris, stand by. I've got a phone. I've got to add Joanna and Paisley to the call.
Okay.
Yeah, this is kind of weird.
Clear so far.
Yeah, because you and I are the only ones here. So until I get those other ones on. Okay, and add to group call. Add to group call. Look at that.
Hey, Chris, stand by. I've got a phone.
Hey, who's this?
Hi, it's Daryl. I have a real quick one tonight.
Okay, stand by. Hold on, because I can't get everybody else on the call.
Okay, I'll turn off my speaker on speaker.
Okay, stand by.
The sound off. Here, I'll turn off the sound on my computer.
Oh,
you can let me hear
everybody
the song.
is Christopher and let's see, this person and Paisley.
I'm Daryl.
Hi, Daryl. Stand by.
Hey, sweetie.
Okay, resume call. Watch, I'm resume calling. Oh, for 5-6. Okay, Daryl, I'm going to have to say goodbye.
Just a quick question.
No, I'm going to have to hang up on you real quick here. Be right back.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all my...
Should I call back?
I'll call you back.
Okay, promise?
Bye-bye. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Christopher, you there? Chris is on hold. Christopher, stand by.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I may have to call you back too. Hold on, I'm going to get Paisley and everyone else back. So everyone just talk amongst yourselves. Now, all these calls are allegedly...
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling Liberty Travel.
Who?
Just kidding. Liberty Travel. That's why I worked for a billion years.
Okay.
No, it's Daryl. It's Daryl.
Christopher, you there? Okay. Joanna, you there?
I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, look at this. And Daryl, you're here.
Oh, no, Paisley's here.
I'm here.
I'm here,
I can hear a real New York accent.
Everyone just talk amongst yourselves.
And...
All these
okay.
calls are
Okay.
allegedly...
Christopher's first.
Hello.
Daryl, turn down your radio.
Everything you do gets recorded. Okay, let me turn off the sound here.
Yeah, please.
Turn it off. Okay, I'm going to turn the sound off on
That
my
is so
computer.
nice. Okay, Christopher, you're first.
Everything coming in loud and clear from me?
Yes, sir.
Good. I had a fight. Hello. I had a fight coming onto this program. Everything seems like trying to come against me.
But you're on.
Yes, I got hacked. My Skype blew up.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead. You're all ready to go.
Okay. Last time there was a show, I wanted to have a picture I have read. It's about someone that looks exactly like me and is... Am I allowed to say his initials?
Yeah, you can say anything you want. Joanna?
Sure.
Yeah, his initials is AG, and his title's a prince.
HG?
AG.
AJ.
AG. Alpha Golf.
Okay, all right. And sorry, I didn't get the first part sorry, what am I doing with the initials? I didn't hear the first part.
I wanted to have that read to see if how he's connected to me. He looks exactly like me, and I've seen him in dreams.
Maybe he should say who it is.
Let me see if I can connect this way. And sorry, love, what is your name?
Christopher.
Christopher, okay. Okay, let me see what I can get here. So you see him in dreams, is that correct?
Yes, in a family reunion dream.
Okay. Okay, this is very strange for me because I don't subscribe to labels. I keep hearing twin soul. I don't know what that means.
A twin soul.
Yeah, I don't prescribe to labels, and I actually stay away from reading what they are so they don't mess me up. But some people subscribe to that analogy.
Like a twin flame?
No, twin soul, he says to me. So I'm going to ask my guide what this exactly is supposed to mean to you, okay?
Yeah, I wonder how his guide's related to me. I've seen the last initial in records related to my family, but I don't know how he's related to me.
Is there any possibility that you were twins? Is there any possibility of that?
No, different countries.
Oh.
I don't understand.
I guess this guy's from a different country.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying. Is there any possibility that Christopher is one of a twin, but the twin never happened, never made it? Is that possible at all?
Oh, okay. I never
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Has that ever been talked about?
No.
Okay. Let me see what I can get. Yeah, I keep hearing twin soul, and when he explains it to me, he says, twin soul is a concept when two souls decide to partake in one's journey together, like twins would, for example. But I really feel like the other one didn't make it.
Oh my God.
Are you okay?
This guy I've seen in my dreams, I know exactly who it is, and I've seen his mother in dreams, like the first time when I was 20, when I was grieving for a friend.
Okay.
And she's been dead since 1982.
So that's your mother, correct?
No. A relative. I suspect.
I don't feel that's what my guide is talking about. My guide is actually talking about a twin.
A twin soul.
A twin that was occupying the same body for a very limited period of time, but only one made it.
Oh, wow.
That he's nodding his head. That's what he's talking about.
Now, Christopher, you died, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. Joanna, ask your guide if there was a break in spirit when Christopher died.
Yeah. Okay.
So Chris left his body, okay?
Yeah.
And the body was, okay, this is really out to lunch for me. The body was apparently occupied very briefly by another soul before Chris returned again.
Oh.
So I have no idea what this means.
So would that have been the one that is the term twin soul is coming from then?
Let me ask. He says, yes, you can term it that way, but it's not quite that simple. But for the purpose of the conversation, it's almost like another soul came in to hold the body intact before Chris could come back again.
Oh my God.
Okay.
This other soul probably knew me, didn't he, before my birth?
I still feel like there were two souls in the fetus. I'm going to keep saying that. And one did not make it. And this was in the very, very, very early stages of the pregnancy. One where it was not yet detected or detectable.
Oh, wow. This I've never heard before.
This is, I have no idea what the hell I'm talking about right now, but I'm just repeating what's being said to me.
I'm along for the ride.
Yeah. Christopher, do you have twins anywhere in your family?
Only on that side of the family where that prince I was telling you about is part of my biological mom's side.
Yeah.
But that was like several generations ago.
Okay.
Oh, so there is possibility of twins there on her side.
On the French and Monaco side, before they came over here, they had twins, but had no American twins.
No, the twin would have not been born, and as a matter of fact, I do not feel the mother would have known there was twins. He's showing me it happened very early in the pregnancy where there would have been a bit of a bleeding, but then it just continued on, so it wouldn't have been even detected.
Wow, could this mean I'm a chimera?
Sorry?
Could this mean I may be a chimera, a person who inherited a lot more of a parents' genes than usual?
Chimera. I've never heard that term.
Chimerism is when you inherit genes from your maternal bloodline more than usual, to a point that it would show up as you as part of her bloodline instead of being a distinct child.
I'm not getting a yes or no on that.
This is getting really out of touch, but I'm with you. I've heard of it vaguely.
Listen, I'm just literally presenting you what's being given to me, but this is like I have no clue what it is that I'm talking about. Zero.
Oh, I'm going to
Zero.
research
Sorry.
this after the show.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Is your mom still alive?
Yep, she's.
She's. Mm-hmm.
I'm living in the same house with.
Okay, is she still able to communicate freely with you?
Yeah.
Ask her if she had any issues at the very early stages of her pregnancy, and I'm seeing this within the first 3 months, as in bleeding or something, cramping or something of that sort. Just ask her and see what she says.
Oh, ask her. I knew I had late pregnancy issues. That's why I was born almost 3 months premature. Actually,
No, this would have been at the within the first 3 or 4 months.
Oh wow! So I actually had double trauma.
Yeah, ask her. I keep seeing the same thing, and it's like there were two babies occupying, and then one left.
That's wild.
Oh, it is. I'm going to research this. This is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask your mom if she remembers having any, difficulties at the beginning or some stuff happening that she wasn't sure about.
Oh, I will.
The very first stages. Okay.
Yes, I know we've had twins, but that was way before we came over here. My family.
Yeah, and the chances are if there are twins in a family, chances are that their generations it'll repeat. Twins will repeat. I mean, it's not a given, but so if there is twins in that side of the family, it's a pretty good chance that there was at least a possibility.
Yeah, the side that my great grandpa Spivey didn't have twins. The side that came from North Carolina. The other side of her family that came from Canada and France did.
That's very interesting.
Crazy
Now,
Cajuns.
how is the month of October connected with you? Do you connect with October?
One of my favorite months of the year.
Okay, and for any particular reason? Because he's just showing me October for you.
It's like within me. I have not been able to explore it fully.
Okay. I wonder if it has something to do with your mother either getting pregnant in October or something happened with the other baby, if that's in fact what it was in October. Because he's showing me there's a significance of the month of October with you.
Yeah, I have the chills right now, too.
Okay.
Christopher, what was the month you were born?
January.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't have been
Okay, and that was...
3 months early?
3 months early?
Yes.
October, November, December, January, no. Oh!
But October would be the...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, 27 weeks to be exact.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that would have been maybe that's when...
That would have been the 3-month mark.
Yep.
See, I'm getting chills now. I'm getting chills now.
Pisces if I was born at term.
Yeah, I feel he's trying to show me that this is the month of October is significant to this whole subject. So ask your mom if she remembers something happened in October with her pregnancy.
I just feel so chilled.
Yeah. That's cool, Christopher. See, you got to wait 2 weeks extra long, but you got some answers.
Yeah, I am so amazed.
Yeah. That was good.
I suspect that's just why I have a feeling why I was talked to by the Grimaldi side of my family, much many generations ago. We're almost like part of my guide system, like this Native American is.
Mm-hmm.
And they were probably trying to tell me all this.
You're getting there, though. Baby steps.
Yeah. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
With all your help.
Okay, my brother. You take care. Have a good week.
Good
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Christopher. Now, let's go to Daryl. Daryl's got a quick question, and then Joseph is coming back in with some news.
Oh.
Okay, hang tough there, Joey. Okay, Daryl.
Hi, everybody. Hi, all. This is Daryl from New York. So you can hear a female New Yorker. I could turn it off if I have to.
Don't. Forget about it.
And you might save me from going for a checkup. Do you see any problems with my health in the future?
I don't discuss medical issues on air.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Sorry, just for obvious reasons, right? It's just a too touchy of a category.
Too touchy, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. No, I understand. Sorry. Okay.
Don't apologize.
You waited all that time?
Don't worry. I should go to a doctor. Don't worry about it. And can you tell me if I have spirit guides and if you know what they look like? Can you introduce me to them?
Okay, let me see. Okay, so he says 3. Okay. You have one female that works with you very closely, and when I'm going to ask her what the significance of her is, okay, she's pointing to your head, and she is trying to show me that she is working with you in helping you to slow down. So your mind is very busy. You're very analytical, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very what?
Analytical.
Analytical. Yes.
She's saying to me, you're all work and no pleasure, and she's working with you and trying to help you pull back, as in relax more. And she does this. Do you get headaches or do you ever get dizzy?
Oh my God, I have terrible vertigo, and my balance is really bad. Okay.
Because she just when I asked her how she does this, she actually said to me, "I'll make her feel dizzy." Oh God!
And that's how she slows her down.
When I'm writing, okay.
That's how she wants to slow her down. Yeah, because I literally said, "How are you helping her?" And she says, "I make her feel dizzy." That's why I said,
"Oh no, I wish she was."
Well, there's a reason for this. She's asking you to pay attention to your feelings, and she's asking you to slow down. And you asked the question on health. I'm not going to go too much into it, but she says if you do not do the things that she's suggesting, you will get yourself into a pickle.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Also, she's pointing me to your abdomen, and she is showing me there is something going on with either your digestion or your abdomen. Do you have any difficulties with digestion?
No, but I think I have some kind of parasites that I should try to detox out of me.
Okay, because I see it as a lot of heat, and heat to me, in this case, she showed me heat and then / nerves. So you do have, this is where you store a lot of your anxiety. And she's also showing me, hang on. Yeah, if you don't have any digestive issues, great. But please, do you use dairy? Correct? You use dairy, right?
I do.
Yes. Okay. So I would suggest this and see if it feels right for you. Eliminate dairy for 2 weeks and see how you feel, because she's showing me that dairy is causing some inflammation in your bowels. Okay. Now, this is nothing life-threatening, but because you also store stress there, that combination can often, have further implications down the road. But she's literally trying to pull you back a little bit and relax a little bit more.
Good idea. Well, it's a good recommendation in general for everyone.
Try it out. If it you'll notice the difference within 2 weeks right away. You'll notice, and then you can get to decide for yourself which way you want to go.
And are there other spirit guides, and can they get rid of the nonsense in my apartment? Am I doing something? Can I do something more for them, maybe? Are they feeling neglected?
Are you saying you're haunted? Is that what you're saying?
I've got a lot of mischief in the house. Mischief is a very mild word. I feel is very malevolent, if anything.
I don't feel it's haunted per se. I feel they're trying to get your attention, and she's saying to me, "Smarten up, smarten up." But in a funny way, I do not feel there's a negative energy at all. This is more of a playful and, like you said, mischievous energy. And she's saying they're trying to get your attention.
20 seconds before our break.
She's trying to get your attention.
Okay. Well, they tricked me. I mean, I could break my face. The way they're trying to get my attention is not very funny.
That's one way to make you slow down.
I got to jump in really quick. Hey, we're going to take this break, 7 minutes. Who's in Denver on hold right now?
Michael.
Hey, Michael, will you be able to hang tough for 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, and Joseph, we're going to come back. Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, we're going to take a break and come back with more from Joey and Michael right after this.
Hi there, this is Dave Scott, and I would like to invite you to listen Monday through Friday right here on Spaced Out Radio. 3 hours a night of the top stories with the top guests, ranging topics from UFOs to ETs, ghosts to Sasquatch, and everything in between. We are live every night, 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. So come on in and take a listen at spacedoutradio.com. Spaced Out Radio will take you out of this world.
Hi there, this is your psychic medium, Joanna, and I would love it if you would join us every other Sunday on Spaced Out Weekend. With host James Tyson, we'll bring you personal psychic messages on 2 mediums and a large. Questions about love, life, career changes. We would love it if you would come and join us live. Call in and listen in for the experience. Allow us to open the doors to your other side. 2 mediums and a large, heard only on Spaced Out Weekend at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for news beyond the mainstream news? Head to spacedoutradio.com and check out the SOR Spacewire. This is Spaced Out Radio's Eric Markham, News Director for the SOR Spacewire. Daily, I will bring you intriguing stories and outlandish reports from what's going on around the world. UFO sightings, paranormal activity, conspiracies, alternative health, and so much more. And if you have news, email me at news@spacedoutradio.com.
Attention Spaced Out Radio listeners. For only $5 a month, you can join Spaced Out Radio Space Travelers. Your membership at spacedoutradio.com will give you access to private fan area on the website, get you a monthly newsletter, draws for monthly swag, and a whole lot more. Sign up today to become a part of the Spaced Out Radio experience.
Strange creatures lurking in the night, the sounds of wood knocking in the forest, odd happenings right out of a fictional world. These are the reports I love. Hi there, this is author Ronald Murphy, and I would love it if you join me and Spaced Out Radio host Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month on our journey into the unknown land of cryptozoology at spacedoutradio.com. From Mothman to Frogman and everything in between. Hey, they don't call me the crypto guru for nothing.
Greetings and salutations, space travelers, from the Chronicles of the Unknown team.
What is Chronicles of the Unknown? I keep hearing about this thing.
It's a new paranormal reality TV show based right here in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Follow our team as we uncover claims of activity on the Caribou Gold Rush Trail. You can also follow us here every third Monday, where 2 members of our team will be available to answer your questions. We'll give you some equipment updates and some of our experiences on the road. Right here on Spaced Out Radio.
For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle.
Patrolling the Pacific Northwest, we are always on the lookout for the strange and unassuming stories that real people are experiencing. Hi, I'm Vincent Zunza from Pacific North Weird. Me and Alexandra Sullivan have teamed to bring to you those odd stories that never seem to make it into the mainstream. Stories so weird that will leave you scratching your head wondering, is this real? It's as real as it gets with Pacific North Weird. You can watch our videos right here at spacedoutradio.com.
Find yourself constantly looking up in the sky, looking for answers? Have you had extraterrestrial contact? Are you an abductee? Looking for answers to your experiences? Hi there, I'm R. Keith Andrews, Spaced Out Radio's resident ET expert. Join me live the first Friday of every month where I take questions from the Spaced Out Radio chat room and help you understand those from the far-off world. It's 2 hours of knowledge every experiencer should listen to. Hope to see you there.
Hey everybody, this is Patrick Webster Small, and I'm here to bring you the Webster Phenomena every Saturday night, live at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. If you're looking for aliens and extraterrestrials, well, we've got them. Big and tall, short and small. You're bound to find what you're looking for. So join me on the Webster Phenomena right here on Spaced Out Radio.
Hi there, this is Jolene with Rivulet Reiki and Readings, and I want you to relax. Let me help you chill out and get in touch with your body, mind, and soul. In this busy world, sometimes we need to let go, and this is where I can help. Visit my website, rivuletrndr.wix.com/rivuletrndr, or my Facebook page, Rivulet R&R, to set up an appointment for relaxation, Reiki, or readings. No matter where you are, it's time for you to make time for you.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Every month on Spaced Out Radio, we look into the deep and dark reports of cryptids roaming around the world with me, Rob Morphy from Cryptopia.us. I would love it if you would join me and host Dave Scott as we delve into the most arcane stories and reports regarding creatures of the unknown. My job is to hunt down the details and bring the evidence forward to you. These aren't your regular Bigfoot stories I'm talking about either. You can find out more about crypto history at spacedoutradio.com.
Tonight's edition of Spaced Out Weekend is brought to you by spacedoutradio.com, where you can now sign up to become a Space Traveler member. Now, for the final time tonight, here's Spaced Out Weekend's James Tyson.
Welcome back, everybody. You are with Two Mediums and a Large on Spaced Out Weekend. Give us a call at 575-694-6634. Again, whatever that number is. I'm sorry. 575-694-6634. And we'll put you all in to talk to our lovely numerologist, Paisley Town, and our medium, Joanna. And right now we've got Michael. And I'm going to let Joey wait. Joey's got some really cool news for us. We're going to let Joey wait. Michael, go ahead.
Thank you.
So, Michael, let me just gonna tell you what I was getting before I clued in that it was actually you. I kept writing October, and I'm going October, and Yes, there's something about October that is more prominent than anything else with regards to work. And when I asked my guides about this job, he says, patience. Tell him he needs to stay patient. So I pulled out some cards, and you've got a couple of interesting cards. One is hope, which is 8. When I add it together, it's 8. That's number for abundance. So that's a good thing. But the next card is new beginning in reverse, which tells me that right now at this point, it's not the right time yet. Okay, so I don't know when you felt you were going to get this job, but I'm being pushed more towards October. And I feel that actually came out in our reading. Did it not?
Probably, yeah. 3 months, 3 weeks to 3 months. Yeah.
Yeah, I said by the end of October you'll be working. Yeah, right. So there's still some work in the background being done. He says to me, patience. Yeah.
So
by Christmas you're going to be working. He's already saying by Christmas you're going to. This is one of those situations where, and I know you're going to hate hearing this because most people do, including myself. Sometimes it's just about timing. It doesn't mean you've done something wrong. It doesn't mean you have to do something. Sometimes you just have to let things unfold. Because you have a beautiful card, hope. That's the best card you can get. But the new beginning is in reverse. And so that tells me the new beginning cannot happen just yet. We're at the beginning of September.
Sure. Is it related to this particular opportunity? So that's the question, I guess. Or should I just move on? Or there's still hope there?
There's absolutely hope there, but here's what I'm actually seeing. There's a vision. You're standing in front of the line, and there are other people in line getting ready to be either interviewed or met by people in the HR department. And your qualifications seem to stand out far more than the people who are behind you waiting for the interview. However, it's being shown to me there's something here to do with money. Whether they're looking to spend less, you are looking for more than kind of they're scratching their head. There's something there. But your position in this equation is far stronger than anybody else. So yes, I still feel that at the end of the day, you're going to end up walking away with this as a winner, but they are going through the process for whatever reason to see maybe if they can get somebody who is as qualified but for less money. And I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but it's something to do with financials.
So it might take time. That's what you're telling me, right?
I'm seeing October. I'm seeing October here. He's underlining it. Yeah. So don't think that you've done anything wrong here. Having said that, don't necessarily put all your eggs in one basket. If you have the opportunity to apply for other places and keep doing that, yes. Because at the end of the day, if this is meant for you, you will get it, regardless of whether you apply for other places or not.
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you have any additional comments? Oh, I'm sorry, John. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Paisley?
Do I have any additional comments? No. But what came to me on the break when we were speaking, what came to me was patience. And it's interesting that Joanna is saying October and just be patient, because that's what I was getting to.
Yeah, it's timing. Yeah. Yeah, keep doing the exercises that I suggested to you. Because with those things, you don't do them for 3 weeks and stop. This is going to be like your little thing for the rest of your life, I'm hoping.
Thank you.
Yes?
Thank you.
Yes?
God
yes?
bless you.
Don't be stubborn.
Don't be stubborn. Don't make me pull this car over, young man.
You do feel better, though. Your energy feels way better than last time. Bye.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Michael.
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Joseph?
I'm here. James and Joanna, I got some news.
Joanna? Paisley, sit down.
Okay, I'm sitting.
I got some news. All right, so you were giving me my reading before, and my cousin introduced you to a young lady.
Yes.
Her name was Helen.
Yes.
Okay, so I got off the phone. I was chatting with Shar in the chat room there. Maybe it's one of her co-workers, maybe it was one of his co-workers, she said. I'm like, all right, I'll Google it, real quick. Mm-hmm. Guess what? I Googled it, and her name came up, and and she's been found, and she and if she has a message, I don't know her personally, but I would love to hear the message that she has. Her name is Helen Crossan Kittle.
Whoa.
Wow, I got chills all over my body. And anything about the child or baby?
Yeah, it was actually unborn, and it was supposed to be the baby was supposed to be born on February 15th, and the name of the baby was supposed to be Patricia Helen Crossan Kittle.
Shit. Okay. Hang on, those always hit me really hard. Okay, I'll ask her to come back. She actually was here before I even went on air tonight. Okay. Any background information on her as far as her ethnicity?
Let me just check here. Obviously, she's Catholic. They had some gathering for her at St. Augustine's Church, so she was Catholic. It doesn't say anything about nationality.
Okay, I'm just going to... it's really weird because she says to me, baby boy, and you said it's a girl. And that makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Ask her. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave that baby thing aside because I don't know what that means, and I'm gonna ask her here.
Mm-hmm.
So her mom is still alive?
The mother is still alive?
Yes, because she's saying to me, say it again, sweetie. She's a little bit shy. Hang on. Her energy is very timid and very shy. Very different than your cousin, like night and day.
Mm-hmm.
She's showing me how she passed, and she passed from, she was hit on the head by something. I don't know if anybody would be able to actually confirm that or not, but there was an impact to her head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, would you know? You don't know.
I don't know her. Okay. But I'm gathering they were probably together because they worked at the same place at the Fitzgerald. They were the same age, almost the same age, 34 years old. So I'm gathering possibly maybe they died together. I don't know, but
She calls her mom Mama, and that's an interesting way to call mother Mama. Mama, okay? And I feel there's a background with her or her family. I feel there's a different background. It's not just, there's a background with her. I can't quite put a finger on it. I also feel she had dark hair.
Yes, she has dark hair.
Dark hair. She's also showing me her hair is, when it was long, it was either it was coarse or it had wave or curl to it, but it's fairly straight the way she's showing it to me.
As I look at the picture, it's definitely straight and long.
Okay.
So,
okay. Tell me more, sweetie. She's never done this before. This is very new for her.
Mm-hmm.
She's also saying that her family does not believe in this. Oy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. If anybody can tell her mom that she is okay, and the words are, I'm in heaven with God, that's in quotation marks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If anybody can tell her mom this, she needs to know, not that her mom doesn't have faith, she does, but it's what I do with her. I don't believe she's shaking her head. She's not. That's not how she looks at things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's also showing she's taking her shoes off, and I'm saying, why are you taking your shoes off? Something about she wore either brand new pair of shoes or her shoes were giving her trouble that day, or there's something about her shoes giving her blisters or new shoes. So that will make sense to somebody who was close to her.
Mm-hmm. Actually, she just got the job for 5 months. She had the job 5 months, and unfortunately she passed. Yeah.
I'm just asking if there's anything else. She keeps saying the word sister, so there must be a sister there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Her sister.
Let me see something.
I just keep hearing, please tell him that I'm okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so if her husband is going to get remarried, the baby's going to come back to him.
The husband is already remarried.
Okay.
His name is Kevin Kittle.
Okay, if he has a child or if he's going to have a child, the baby is coming back. But I hear a son, so maybe he has a son.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
So that's just something. Maybe somebody will know.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's giving this baby to her husband, as in passing the baby on. So oftentimes children will come back at a different time.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the baby's going to come back to a different family. So he's either with somebody else already, or will be, and the baby's either there or will be there.
Well, according to this, he has remarried. According to this. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Strong
and
stuff.
She's sending kisses to him. I also see him with darker hair and a mustache at some point. She's also showing me a tie with him, so I don't know what he does for a living or what the tie represents, but she just keeps saying, I'm okay, I'm okay. She's never done this before, so this is new for her.
Mm-hmm.
But she was waiting here before I even got on Skype. Wow. That's amazing.
Wow.
That is, I was actually saying to Paisley, I never in a million years would have thought that I would channel somebody from 9/11.
And my cousin brought her in, or she was just there already?
She was there, but she was kind of standing there, and I didn't know what to do with her. And when he was talking to me, and when he finished, he then brought her forward, and it's almost like, okay, please say what you wanted to say. But because she was standing there, I have it written down here, but I didn't know what to do with her.
Yeah. Wow, that's really amazing. And they happen to be co-workers of Cantor Fitzgerald, so I'm gathering... Wow. Then maybe they were in the same meeting because he was there for a meeting and something happened to both of them at the same time. I don't know.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
You're welcome, and thank you. You're awesome, Joanna. I appreciate you. And Paisley, love you too.
I'm here, just.
Okay.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
All right. Talk to you later, guys.
Bye.
Thanks, Joey.
Bye.
So, rather amazing. Joanna, do you have anybody else that was hanging out before we came on the air? Or was she the only, with Helen the only one?
Helen was the only one, and I actually have notes here. I wrote a mother with a baby, number 9, and I keep seeing the name Helen or Helen, something of that sort. And she was just standing, and I kept saying, what would you like me to do? And she just stood here. It's never happened before, not like that.
Yeah. Remember when she first came through, and Shar is reminding of this, that she said that, I'm sorry. Oh, you know what I just did? Oh, drat. I just put everybody else on hold. Stand by.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Hold on. Shar was just reminding us that I have to do this call on hold. I've got to call that one back. Sorry. Char was just reminding us that...
Oh, it's still live, so we'll just stay on the air.
Yeah, you guys are good. Char just reminding us that in the first part of the reading, she said, "I'm sorry I didn't take your call." So that's another thing, confirmation piece that Joey could go back with, saying, you know, does this mean anything to you, Mr. Kittle? If it ever goes that far.
Yes.
So those are the kind of things that, as a policeman, we call that a clue. And I'm just going to go back over the call that I just got here. Stand by and see if we can add this to the group call. There we go. It's been odd. Skype has been odd. So if you do call in and I hang up on you, I will call you back. So whoever's at the 402 area code, I'm calling you back now. Hello.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Hi, who's this?
Sharon.
Oh, hi, Sharon. I was just saying what you were saying in my same kind of ways.
I started to hear it, yeah. God, that was so incredible for Joanna to do that. What a special thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, did you have a question?
Is she there?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm here.
Here.
Sorry, love. I'm just
hi, Joanna.
Putting myself together.
I didn't mean to talk about you behind your back.
I'm here. No, it's all good. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I do. I've had a lot of paranormal stuff happening the last couple of weeks around the house, and I'm wondering what you could pick up.
Okay.
Not good stuff either.
It's dust. It's paranormal humor.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not really into orbs.
Oh, orbs are great.
And they, a couple of times I've seen them that I really believed it was spirits, but most of the time it just looks like dust and light.
Okay, I keep hearing Dad. Is your dad passed?
Yes.
Okay, because I keep hearing Dad. It's like, what am I going to do with this? So, for whatever reason, I'm supposed to pass this on, but I just want to... When you talk about the stuff in your house, is this stuff that makes you scared?
Well, I don't really get scared. I get mad. Okay. But I've had a couple of really odd things happen to me in my room while I'm sleeping. I have no memory of it at all.
What do you mean?
Well, all right, example, I wear crosses and medals.
Yeah.
And they're very tight, okay? Like, it's very hard. I never take them off. And I woke up and they were off of me, still hooked, laying in my bed, which was really weird because, I would have to really work to get them off. And that's not something I would not remember doing. And, a couple other things that have happened like that I have no memory of anything.
Do you ever have conscious memory when you astral travel?
No. Okay. I mean, I haven't had any, I don't know that I ever do that.
Okay, we all do. We just don't remember. For the most part, we don't remember. We have no conscious awareness. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can get... There are hands that are taking it off, but I don't know what it is. I don't feel it's a menace. I don't feel it's I'm not afraid of it. It's a very gentle feel to it, almost nurturing like. But I don't feel any menacing energy at all around this. But I'm also not getting much.
It's really, really, really weird, Joanna.
Paisley, you deal with paranormal. Do you? Can you get anything?
I guess it could be a living person that I just don't know about because I do have them breaking in, but I don't understand why I didn't wake up.
What do you mean you have people breaking into your home?
Yeah. And just recently they killed my cat. They broke in and took her and killed her violently.
Okay, that's messed up.
Yeah, it is. I finally have the police working on that one.
Cher, did you have an opportunity to clear your space with smudging or something like that?
No, just holy water, but not a thorough. No, I haven't. So much has been going on.
Mm-hmm. I'm not picking up much on that, Sharon.
Okay.
For some reason,
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is. It's just like I got nothing.
They were still, they get, like I wear 2 chains, right? They both have crosses and metals, and they get all twisted up together. And they were both off of me and on the bed.
Weird.
Were they twisted up or separate?
Yeah. No, they were still twisted up.
Okay.
Okay, that's weird.
And hooked, and they were still hooked. And I had other things kind of like that with the metals. It's actually, I can't even say on the air, but, something occurred. I mean, things were taken off of me completely, and I have no recollection of it at all.
Sure. Do you remember, like, when things are taken off on you and the metals were removed, when you woke up, what your bed looked like? Was it very, very neat, or was it, jumbled sheets like normal?
It was normal, and the chains were, like, under me, which was kind of weird. Like right next to my side, my right side.
Okay. Because
together.
We have ways of waking ourselves up. Like if you end up tossing and turning and wrapping yourself up in the blankets and you get super, super hot,
right?
Your brain will say, here's a nightmare because you need to wake up and clean this off. Oh. You may have, the necklace, this is just me doing what I do, but the necklace may have actually been twisted off to the point where it was about to cut into you, and you literally just took it off. And then
I took it off without knowing I did it. Huh?
Yeah, and clipped it back together. Or somebody else was thinking,
but I could have got it off.
Yeah.
What?
Somebody else was thinking that maybe it was going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, but if it was, I can't get over the not waking up during it is the weirdest thing. Because I'll wake up if I check on the dog or, go to the bathroom or whatever, but I don't have any memory of this.
Very bizarre.
I'm asking if your house is haunted. I get no.
Okay.
I get no.
Okay. I saw a shadow person. I mean, solid black, though. It wasn't foggy or anything.
How long ago?
Oh, gosh. I guess about a month.
Oh.
And it was, it just kind of was, I was just kind of shocked, I just looked at it. I mean, it came out from behind the wall, or not, my hallway, like was standing in front of me. And I was sitting on the bed, and I just looked at it, and the dog looked at it, and then it just went back into the hall and disappeared.
You live in an apartment?
Solid. No, I live in a condo.
Condo. Okay, but there's other occupants, like
there's 2 floors.
Okay.
No, there is a shared wall, but no, just me in this area that's supposed to be anyway. But I'd never seen anything like that before, but it didn't scare me at all. It wasn't my son. It wasn't tall enough, but it was a male, and it was very defined, and solid black. So I'm guessing that's what a shadow person is. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I don't know anything about shadow people at all. I try not to even read that stuff. I just don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't either. It's just that, when I heard somebody describing it on the chat or the show, I thought, I wonder if that's what that was. It just, it was somebody, but I don't know what.
I'm afraid I can't help you with that one. Yeah.
Isn't that weird? James, you think...
It could have been you doing it, or it could have been like your dad coming down saying, "Oh, that's going to hurt," and she's going to lose breath. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But the shadow person, she's asking.
The shadow people are.
I don't know who that is.
Shadow people. It's such an odd term. They're alleged to be beings that are just seen as a shadow, and then there are spirits that come through as a shadow. So
yeah, this was a person.
Yeah.
I don't think it was was it just an entity type thing. It was a spirit.
Yeah.
I think. I'm guessing. I'm guessing, of course.
I had
but
one.
The thing about. Go ahead.
Sorry, I had one come through when I was a kid, and I could tell it was a girl, a young girl, and standing at the foot of my bed and walking up to me. When I put my hand out, thinking it was my sister, as soon as my hand entered what would have been the person,
right,
I just fell into a nice deep sleep. So,
well,
that was my weird
colored?
experience.
Was it defined? Could you see a face and clothes
No,
and things
well,
like
not
that?
at all. No, it was just
I couldn't either. Okay.
It was just kind of like a shadowy snowman. So like there's the head and there's the body.
Black snowman.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't think that I took anything that, because I've had that happen before where people have switched stuff out. I took anything that made me just sleep through it.
You could have just been super tired.
Yeah.
I keep seeing the same thing, and it's hands taking it off of you, but I don't know who these hands belong to. Again, I see this as a gentle, loving thing, not something that is negative.
Okay.
Now
these chains, are they the size that they could have, kind of hurt you if they were twisted up enough?
No, but I guess when you're hot, they are fairly short, but they're my blessed metals that I never take off.
Mm-hmm.
I would never want them off of me.
Yeah.
So, but it's really weird. I'll just say it. I might as well. Another night, like the next week, I woke up and my clothes were gone. They were off of me.
Yeah. And
they were tucked in, to the side of me, my right side, exactly where the chain was. But I specifically, purposely left my shorts and my shirt. I went to bed with my clothes on purpose. Okay?
Why?
Yeah,
I was really,
tricky.
I never, with people breaking in, I don't go to sleep without anything on.
The first thing I got from that is somebody showing you that you don't have to worry. It was their way of saying, don't worry about people breaking in. Take your stuff off. And the same thing...
Or it doesn't matter if I try to keep safe. Yeah.
No, because nothing's going to happen.
Well, they just broke in, took my cat and bashed her head in.
Yes, but they didn't take your clothes. Anyway, that's what came to me when you said that.
Okay.
Sorry, Shar.
It was just bizarre that I wouldn't remember, I just wanted to see.
It's like watching my daughter sleepwalk and trying to go pee on the fireplace.
Seriously?
You know what? I did that a couple times when I was young, sleepwalk. So.
Yeah.
I was real little. I don't know.
I'm sorry about your cat.
Okay, sorry to bother you.
No, sorry about your cat.
Bother us.
Yeah,
Are you kidding?
Pretty horrible.
That's
awful. I appreciate your insight.
I hope they find the bastard.
Maybe
who
I
did
just
that.
took it off. Yeah, I do too. Because
that's
she was
disgusting.
Very sweet, old, and very loving.
I cannot understand people who abuse animals. Sorry, that is my frickin' pet peeve.
Well, I know.
I
know.
can't
what
stand
kind
it.
of a human does that? James,
can't
isn't that
stand
the future serial killer?
Yeah, it can be. Cruelty to small animals, uresis, which is bedwetting, and the fascination with fire is called the psychopathic triangle. The three things all criminal psychopaths have in common.
It's horrific, you know?
Yeah.
Do you pick up anything on who did this, Joanna?
Let me see. I feel this is a male. This is not a younger male. I see the ethnicity, but I'm not going to say it just because I don't want to get myself into trouble here.
Oh, man. How about age? Are we talking 20s?
I want to say 22 to 27.
Okay.
Yeah, the 27 is highlighted to me, so not older than 27. I see him with almost what looks like a little bit of dreadlocks. His jeans are hanging off of him like they wear these days. He has high tops, running shoes that are undone, and I feel like there would be red in it. And the tongue from the shoe is kind of sticking out. I also feel he has a chain, silver chain hanging off of his pocket in the back, and the way he walks, it's like almost like he bounces.
Okay. Does he live around here? Or, I mean, is this the guy that's been targeting me?
I was told vicinity. Vicinity. Okay. What does that mean? That round? Yeah. Part of me wants to say it's some young punk who is, looking for an easy prey. I'm not being shown what he's looking for, though. And I don't see anybody else with him, or at least it's not being shown to me.
Mm-hmm.
You got the police involved, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My daughter did. Yeah, good. The chief's looking into it. But, I just thought of something, James and Joanna. This paranormal stuff that's going on, my dog, she cries and whines and cries, and then she'll growl. And
she sees.
I cannot see anyone, but she's seeing somebody.
Yeah, yeah, she sees. Yeah, the animals do. Yeah, they do. They do see and sense.
And remember, sometimes they can also see other animal spirits. So it could be.
This is going to sound really weird, James. I mean, especially even coming from me, it's going to sound really weird. Have you ever had any paranormal situations where an animal desecrates?
What does that mean?
Desecrate something?
On the floor.
Poops, yeah.
Oh, you poops on the floor?
On the floor. Yeah. A spirit animal.
Takes a dump. No.
Right. I didn't think so.
Yeah, because...
So that's why I keep saying it's got to be a person doing it, bringing it in. Because I'm with my dog, and I'm gone, and I come back, and there's piles of shit all over the floor.
Weird.
Pardon your French.
I'm sorry.
No, that's...
Chite. Chite.
Merde. Yeah, I've never heard of a creation of real fecal matter from an energy.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I thought.
That's bizarre.
But it's so bizarre. I don't know how it's happening.
Now, just so you know, this of course is a podcast. It goes on to we're on iTunes now and YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
so you can always take Joanna's reading down to the policeman. If you kind of calm that, you kind of relax it in, just kind of here. Just listen to this and tell me what you think.
Oh, he's known.
And make sure she doesn't. They don't call Joanna.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell him. Can he call you? No.
I don't do investigations.
You don't? Oh.
No, not yet. Anyway.
Not yet. Yeah.
I have him call. Well, I'll have him call James, and he can call.
Oh yeah, that's going to help. Yeah.
All right,
well, that's kind of interesting.
If anything comes to you, let me know, would you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Any of you guys, because this is the not waking up thing is really, really bugs me.
Well, you know what? There's times where, and this is what you do for people who are perceiving they're experiencing like a alien contact and being taken and brought back. You put 2 quarters or 2 playing cards beside the bed, and you, in your mind's eye, or in the way you pray or you speak, you say, if I'm ever conscious and awake where I'm going to forget something in the morning, assure that I pile the cards or pile the coins on each other. And people will do that. They'll wake up in the morning and think, well, I feel really weird. And they'll look over and go, oh, look, the coins are piled up. Right. And they've told themselves to do that when they're in that unconscious state.
Yeah. I told myself what time I want to wake up before,
Oh, yeah.
I've done that kind of thing before.
Yeah, that's a good one.
James, I think Joey has more info.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll get off. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks,
all righty.
Okay,
thanks, Sharp. Let's see. I'll drag Joey kicking and screaming in here and see what he has to say. Joseph?
Yes?
What's up? Rumor has it.
I got a lot of great information here, guys.
Oh, go for it.
Oh, man. All right. So here's the deal. Sorry for taking up the show, guys.
No, this is good. It's our 9/11 show. Fill it up.
All right, so here I found somebody that was working in his very area, the East Speed area that he used to work in the same department as him. Different woman's name, but she was going to have a son. Okay, so I don't know so her name is Diana Galante, and she obviously left the husband as well, and the son was supposed to be named Matthew. So is this the baby boy that we're looking for?
Okay. Now, I'm going to go back here because I wrote, first of all, the number 9 was shown to me very, very prominent. And 9 is September, but I don't feel that's what it was. Mother with baby, and it's a baby boy. So let me just ask my guide, because it could be that, there was a Helen and there was somebody else, but I was only aware of one. So just give me 1 second. No, he's saying to me that this was Helen I was communicating with.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
This was Helen. But I'll tell you, somehow there is a little boy in this whole equation. I don't know how, but there is a little boy. Either the father now, her husband now has a boy, or something. There is a boy in this equation.
Okay.
I know.
I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I know.
Okay, what?
It's the boy is the new child for her husband.
That's what I keep saying.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's where the boy is.
Okay.
Yeah, because she kept handing the baby to the husband.
The little girl no longer exists.
It comes up as a boy, yes.
She's now a boy.
Wow. Okay.
So that's why you can't see the little girl. You can't see Patricia. You're seeing Pat.
No.
Gotcha.
I'm seeing a little boy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
If that ever comes up, hey, that'd be, yeah.
All right.
Especially if the little boy's name's Pat.
That was awesome.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be a part of this show as always, and I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Yeah, see you in another year.
Yeah, take care.
Okay, Joey. Thanks very much.
Bye, Joey.
It's Christopher's keeps getting his system hacked in Facebook. We should find out who's doing that, and we'll phone him. Joanna, find the person who is hacking Christopher's account. Get us his phone number, and make him fall down some stairs. So, Joanna, I'm going to harass you for a second here. And
Hey,
Paisley, I'm going to harass you.
Whatever happened with that lady we talked about when you sent me a picture?
The lady...
Remember the famous psychic?
Oh, yes. I've been trying to get people on to talk about her. She was a psychic in the Vril Society in Germany from the late 20s to up to 1945 when she disappeared. But she's the one who channeled information and basically the plans for flying discs, which were built by Germany. They couldn't use them for they couldn't use them for like a military purpose because they would only turn at 90-degree angles, and they could only climb at about a 22.5-degree angle. So they weren't really good. One was used as a spotting device out in front of a German, what do you call it? A supply ship, until the supply ship was sunk. There's a question from Shar. I need you to go back there, Joanna. She was wondering if you can check to see how this hoodlum got into her house.
Who got into her house?
The hoodlum. The fellow with the red shoes and saggy pants and dreadlocks, but we're not gonna say anything about his race.
No. How he got into the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gee, Paisley.
I am seeing someone unlocking a door. It's whether with a key or picking a lock.
Interesting. I was thinking it was with a key.
Yeah, that's what there's no, and it's very weird because I feel like it's being opened with either a key or the door is being picked. The lock is being picked.
Yeah, which is really, really hard on any modern door. But a key, if he had got in previously or stole a key, that would be the other way to get in. Yeah, taking the key or finding it. Those are
how do you
easiest
find
ways.
Poop in your house?
Yeah,
and on the floor, yeah.
Right? That's crap. And Christopher wants to say thank you for you guys, and he has a lot to explore in his family past now. And Cher was saying they took their keys out of her clothes. So change your locks, young lady.
Yes,
and maybe.
please.
Well, you're in the United States. You can hook up one of those shotgun devices to blow their knees off when they come in. We're not allowed to do that here. They frown on that. I'm taking you back now, Joanne.
Also, what I'm being shown is, those chains that you have inside the home, so somebody cannot open it from outside when you have the chain. So if she doesn't have one, maybe that's what would be good to install.
Yeah. Lock her in. Yeah. I'm taking you back, Joanna.
Yes.
Paisley, you can't see this. It's the diagram the sketch that I drew. It's a guy wearing like a 3/4 length slicker and a thing that's called a sou'wester. It's a rain hat that was popular on boats back in the East Coast. Okay. That's what I drew. Can you check in to see if that means anything or who that person might be?
Are you asking Joanna?
Yeah.
The name Steven appears to me, but it's funny because the name is being stretched out. So it's something along the lines of Stephen, or it's being stretched out.
Okay. Not Steve Sten.
Could be.
Yeah, that's
Could
where
be.
I grew up.
That's where you drew it?
No, that's where I grew up, and it's a fishing community.
That's where you grew up, because it's Stephen, and he's stretching it out. So it's not as simple as Stephen. There's more to it, but he's never shown it to me that way before.
Okay, it's definitely not who I thought it was. Because that was...
Did you, the gentleman that you drew, does he have facial hair?
No, but I don't know if he would have or not.
Okay. The only thing I'm seeing is a gentleman who is wearing a hat, and he's wearing, I don't know if those are rubber boots, but they're boots. I hear the words fishing gear. He is sitting on a boat. He has a cigarette in his mouth. Fisherman. Something with fishing.
Yeah, he looks like a fisherman, but I don't know why I drew him. I thought it might be my great-grandfather who was killed on a boat.
Well, let me ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
No, he says no.
Okay.
Okay, he's saying to me that this is someone that's drowned, and you picked up his energy. Did you draw that picture somewhere around Steveston?
No, I drew it sitting up here in the log cabin yesterday.
Okay.
It just came to me. I just started drawing it, and
yeah, I'm not getting a clear picture on that. But you seem to be picking up energies of people who are not in at all vicinity close to you, or you in their vicinity, and it just you keep picking up stuff remotely.
How is this I know we're running out of time here. I've got another question for you guys. Now, I'm going to be retiring in the next 6 months here. 4 to 6, actually 4 months. And I was wondering if you can ask anybody on the other side whether I'm going to be okay, or should I get another job? Financially.
You mean financially, yeah. Okay.
Or do I need to get another job to feed my children? Or can I sell them?
And your dog. You have a dog, right?
I do.
Because he said, and your dog.
Who is this, your guide, or...
Okay. No, what? Is this a gentleman who's smoking a pipe again?
That's my dad.
Oh, that's your dad. Okay. He's being funny because he said children and his dog in a very serious voice as he has his puff. Okay. He says you're going to be fine, but you're not going to think you are.
Oh.
You get it?
Yep.
Yeah. And he's pointing to your head, and he says you're going to be worried. You will be fine, but you're not going to think you are fine.
Oh, great. Well, at least he's letting me know, which is cool.
But I do feel that after New Year, I feel like your energy is picking up, and you are preoccupied with something. This is something that you're putting your energy into. It is something outside of your home, and I see a distance, so that may have you traveling a little bit here and there. It's not being shown to me what it is. He does show me there's a bit of money connected to it. I wouldn't be surprised if it was project based. That's the word is being shown to me, and there's a creativity component to it.
That's kind of cool. Because that would be the TV series that I've been thinking of.
Ah, okay.
I just need... Oh, and if he's nodding or laughing and rolling on the floor, holding his stomach, ask him if that's something that would be funded by myself or someone else.
he didn't roll, and he didn't. What was the other one? But he did wink at me, and that was. It's almost as if to say, let's not tell him too much. Let's keep him in suspense. Yeah, but I'm going to ask him about the financial. What I was picking up is that at the beginning, it wasn't going to be a huge financial gain, but it's almost like down the road, you would start to see it paying off.
Okay.
And I see money going into your pocket. I don't see millions, but slowly I see money coming into your pocket. But there's a lag period for a bit before you start seeing something substantial.
Yeah.
Substantial is the word.
I'm just wondering if it starts off where money comes out of my pocket, or is it somebody else's pocket funding it?
Okay, let me see. I feel you're going to put some into it, yes.
Oh, drat. Okay. Yeah. I guess so.
Yeah. I don't...
There goes my GoFundMe campaign.
I don't think it's a huge thing, but there is... Because I see you taking money out of a pocket and reluctantly giving it to whoever the other person is. But it's like you're splitting something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be a split in there. Very cool. Well, thank you, too. And Paisley, thanks for coming out.
I'm here. Yeah, it was fun listening to your show.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weekends ago, she didn't get rest. So, in all fairness, she deserves it.
Well, you guys, that's, it's one of the things. I actually have a friend of mine who just texted me saying out here on the West Coast, 11:52 p.m. She said, "Hey, what time should I call in?" And I said, "Oh, you got 2 minutes." Yeah, I was like, "What?" My goodness, Joanna and Paisley, I have people lined up during my day who want to call in and never seem to call in when you guys are on. So, you know what? I think it's just meant to be.
Yeah.
If they were going to call in, they should have done it.
Yeah, we were supposed to talk about the 9/11 stuff.
Yep,
we had great callers tonight. It was great having everybody on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fantastic, and it's amazing. We with Christopher and with Joseph. Wow, it is amazing to me the amount of information that you guys put out, and honestly, the questions that were answered, and all the research now that these people do. So I want to thank Paisley Town. Go to paisleytown.com. Check her out. I'm going to have to get a course from her soon. And Joanna, JoannaTheMedium.com. And for everybody out there, remember, please keep an open mind. Gosh darn it.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Everyone, take the rest of the night off.
This is our last goodbye. Young hearts will stop. Torn souls set free. All that we have is now. If this is what you want, then come to me.
All right, that's it. Let's roll. And hey! Let's be careful out there.
Far over the snow, what are those voices? They sing as they go. What are those voices? Look up for the mountain. Because somebody died, somebody better hide. On through the hail, like a pack of angry wolves. bounty to get the man they're after now. Run through the hail like a flash of angry balls on the trail. Dead or alive, we are out to get you, dead or alive. If you're the one, better run away. Son, you are done, throw your gun away. Here comes the bounty to get the man they're after. No!
I see dead people.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Dave's not here!